90 kilometers an hour. That's how fast you're moving when you decide to cut a hole through the roof of a train. No one inside hears it. They won't hear it for 7 more hours. By morning, this will be called the biggest train robbery in Indian history. The headlines will all say the same number, except that number is a lie. Not a cover-up, not a conspiracy, just wrong. And nobody will correct it for 2 years, because by the time the truth comes out, the men who did this will already be ash and rumor. This is what actually happened on that train, what they actually took, and why the ending is so much stranger than the myth.
You're watching Rivet. Today, we're uncovering one of the strangest and most misunderstood train robberies in Indian history. Let's go back to the night it all began.
226 boxes, sealed, logged, loaded onto a train under armed watch, headed for the Reserve Bank of India in Chennai. On paper, it's a fortune, 342 crore rupees in cash. But open one of those boxes and you won't find a fortune. You'll find torn notes, soiled notes, currency so damaged it's already been pulled from circulation. This isn't money anymore. It's evidence that money used to be here. It's on its way to Chennai to be shredded, fed into a machine and erased. As far as the bank is concerned, it's already worth nothing, which is exactly why almost no one is watching it closely enough. Guards on board, officials at every checkpoint. On paper, this train is untouchable. Here's what almost none of them know. Routes like this, cargo like this, the schedule, the coach number, how many boxes, which stretch of track. None of it is ever supposed to leave a very small, very trusted circle of people. Investigators will spend 2 years chasing one uncomfortable idea. Whoever did this didn't guess. Someone told them. And somewhere in the dark, above the heads of every sleeping passenger on that train, something has already started. Somewhere between 2 stations nobody's ever heard of, 5 men are lying on the roof of a moving train, cutting a hole through solid steel. Understand what that actually means. This isn't jimmying a window latch. This is holding onto a moving train in the dark, with a tool heavy enough that when investigators finally piece this together, veteran officers will be stunned. Anyone pulled it off without dying first. One wrong grip, one patch of loose gravel under the tracks, one sudden break, and this story ends completely differently. For all 5 of them. They don't stop to think about that. 2 of them drop down into the compartment. Wooden crates everywhere, sealed, stacked, waiting. They don't have time to be careful. They smash the first crate open by hand, empty it completely, move to the second, start emptying that too. 2 more crates get pried open, barely touched. There's no time, because somewhere beneath their boots, a train carrying the Reserve Bank of India's own cargo is still moving. And one wrong noise, one wrong second, ends everything. They don't even carry a bag that looks like a bag. 5.78 crore rupees. Less than 2% of what was sitting in that van. 4 crates touched. 222 left completely untouched. And then, they're gone. Back up through the hole they cut, into the dark, off a moving train, into a country of over 1 billion people. 3:55 a.m. The train reaches Chennai. Guards present, officials present. On paper, the cargo is secure. Nobody opens the van. Almost 7 hours after that train pulled into the station, someone finally opens the door and looks up. A robbery that took minutes had a 7-hour head start before a single person even knew it happened. By the time police are called, the men aren't just gone. They've had time to vanish completely. The case moves fast. At first, government railway police open it the same day. Within 48 hours, it's handed to Tamil Nadu's crime branch CID, the state's best. And then it just stops. No fingerprints worth using, no usable footage. A crime committed in total darkness on an anonymous stretch of rural track by men who left almost nothing behind. Here's what 2 years of a cold case actually looks like. It isn't one team working one puzzle patiently for years. It's team after team, each one inheriting a file that's already gone stale. Each one expected to find something the last group of experienced officers couldn't. Every time a new chief takes over the CBCID, the file gets reassigned. Fresh eyes, fresh dead ends, and somewhere out there, 5 men have 2 years to spend the money, hide it, bury it, or simply forget a robbery that no one seems close to solving. They have no idea what's coming. Because eventually, someone on this case does something no police unit in the state has ever done before. Through the Union Home Ministry, Tamil Nadu's CBCID files a request. They ask for satellite imagery. From NASA, the idea is almost absurdly simple. Use satellite tracking data to reconstruct exactly where that train was and exactly how fast it was moving. At the precise moment, the roof was cut open. It works. The data isolates the exact stretch of track between Salem and Virupuram, where this had to have happened.
That's breakthrough number 1. Breakthrough number 2 comes next. Investigators pull mobile tower records for that exact stretch, that exact night. They isolate every phone signal that was active and moving along that precise route. Every single one of those numbers traces back to the same place.
Madhya Pradesh.
For 2 years, the system had made one fatal assumption: that without fingerprints, without footage, a 2-year-old train heist was simply unsolvable. It wasn't. It just needed a different kind of evidence. The kind that comes from orbit. The trail leads investigators over 1,000 kilometers away to a name that keeps surfacing in every lead. Moha Singh, already behind bars, already serving time in Guna Central Prison for something else entirely. Slowly, a 5-man crew comes into focus. Lookouts, cutters, the 2 who dropped through the hole. 2 years after that train pulled into Egmore Station, 2 suspects are finally arrested. Dinesh Padi, 38, and Rohan Padi, 29, both from Ratlam. And in custody, they don't just confess to the robbery, they confess to what happened after it. Because the story doesn't end on that rooftop. 3 months after the robbery, India abolishes its 501,000 rupee notes. Overnight. Demonetization. The exact denominations they stole are now illegal to hold, impossible to spend, dangerous to even be caught with. And according to their own confession, they don't try to launder it. They don't spend it carefully, slowly, city by city, the way every heist movie tells you criminals are supposed to. They burn it. The same cash they'd risked their lives for on a rooftop in the dark, in the wind, 90 kilometers an hour, set on fire, because holding on to it had become more dangerous than the theft itself ever was. 2 crore rupees turned to ash. Not seized, not recovered, just gone. Destroyed by the very men who stole it. For the exact same reason the Reserve Bank was moving it in the first place. Because it had stopped being worth anything at all. 8 people in total are eventually connected to the case. So what actually happened here? Not a 342 crore heist, a fraction of the myth that made every headline in the country. Still audacious, still meticulously planned. Still 5 men risking their lives on the roof of a moving train in the dead of night. Just not the number everyone remembers. The real story was never about the size of the number. It's about how easily a country convinces itself of the wrong one. And how the truth, when it finally surfaces 2 years later, is stranger and far more human than the headline ever was. 5 men on a moving rooftop. A 7-hour blind spot nobody noticed. A satellite in orbit, solving what fingerprints never could. And in the end, a fortune going up in smoke. Not because anyone caught them, because the ground shifted beneath them first. That's the real great Indian train robbery. Not the biggest heist in the country's history. Just one of the strangest. Every mystery has a story. Every story leaves a rivet. Make sure to subscribe and we'll see you in the next one.